Okay, so I have been telling you guys there's big updates, new directions moving forward as far as where I'm showing up on social media. I'm still going to be showing up in the normal Instagram and Facebook fashion. However, if you've noticed me talking about it quite a bit, videos seem to be getting flagged, posts are getting taken down, my account's restricted, I can't go live. There are just so many things that it seems like Meta is not happy about when it comes to the GLP-1 community. So my hope to remedy that is to start posting longer format conversations here on YouTube, as well as utilizing my email list and our online community more, my website. And yes, I'm still going to be on Facebook and Instagram and all of those places just as I was before, but trying to put all of my eggs in one Meta basket, so to speak, just seems to be doing me and you guys a disservice. And moving forward, I guess things are going to be different. So, if you don't know who I am, my name is Jasmine, and I started a GLP-1 in July of 2023. And I have been overweight pretty much my entire adult life. I would lose 20 pounds here, gain 30 pounds back. And it started to be that my camera roll was just a bunch of before pictures of me continuing to get bigger and bigger with no after photos to go with it. In 2022, my father passed away, and I had a hard time with that. And I gained even more weight when he passed away. And he passed away from obesity complications due to diabetes. And that was type 2 diabetes that he probably never would have developed if it weren't for obesity. And I think all the time, if I had found a GLP-1 before my dad had passed away, that he might still be with us. And that's kind of why I'm here and why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's really personal for me. With that being said, I truly view what I'm doing here as important work. I view helping people getting access to medications that it seems are only meant for the elite when it comes to the physical implications of them just in the world. And my journey personally to finding medication and getting on medication was difficult. Like, it wasn't something that, I just went to my primary care physician and was like, hey, I would like to try this medicine. And then they gave it to me. It actually was a lot of no's and a lot of no, I'm not prescribing that because it has all these scary things that might happen, which were just really fear mongering and seemed to be, half truths and people who hadn't done their research on the medication. And I was also thinking, I'm gonna die anyway because I'm, 80 pounds overweight and I'm starting to develop all of these complications from being obese. And I had high blood pressure, and I'm sure I was on my way to being a type 2 diabetic, just like my dad was. And there were so many things that obesity was making so high risk for me, but it seemed that when I wanted to do something, that they just looked at me like I was a moral failure, and they wanted me to work harder, eat less, and, just do things that I was already trying to do. And it was like they didn't believe me that I was trying to do them. They didn't believe me or my husband. My husband would go with me and he would be like, dude, she eats like a bird. Like, if I ate like her, I would wither away and die. Like, he literally told my doctor that. And my doctor, I don't know if he just didn't take it seriously, or maybe he thought that I wasn't being truthful. And so when this medication came around and I saw one of my friends who had always struggled with their weight, and she had been losing weight, and I'm like, she has always struggled just like me. So what is different this time? Like, what has made it different? And she told me that she was on Mounjaro. And so I basically was like a dog with a bone, and I was going to try this medication no matter what I had to do, no matter where I had to go. I was going to make it happen for me because it was either this or death. And I know that sounds dramatic, but my mental health was suffering. I was tired of just not being good enough, not being able to do something that seemingly so many other people could do, but I couldn't. I was looking at all the ways in which people were trying to do this and keep the weight off, and it just doesn't work for people like me. And while I would love to say, oh, we just don't have the discipline, or we're lazy, or we don't stick to it, or whatever it is that society puts on overweight people, that wasn't the case for me. I was athletic. I was playing sports a few nights a week. I was working out. I was eating low carb. Like for 3 years, I wouldn't eat carbs. And I was terrified of bread. I wouldn't eat pasta. Like, you name it, and I was trying to do it. I tried every fad diet. I tried everything, and just nothing worked for me. And so I started looking through the telehealth route, and that was what I ended up doing. I ended up going through telehealth, and it changed my life, and it changed the trajectory of my life. Had I not started a GLP-1, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you, and I wouldn't be telling you my story. I wouldn't be 140 pounds and having kept it off now for 2 years. This is the longest I've ever been at this weight, a healthy weight, in my entire adult life. I had started documenting this journey from day one. I didn't start posting it until about a month in because, to be honest, I didn't think it was going to work. I thought this was going to be another one of those things that just failed for me, and that I was going to chalk it up to another, $400 spent on something that didn't work. So I started recording from my very first injection. I recorded everything thinking, if this does work, I'm going to share it with everyone, because I'd seen it working for so many other people, but I had just been disappointed so many times in my life that I'm like, yeah, it's going to work for everybody else, but not for me, because this stuff never works for me, because nothing I'd ever tried did work for me. I started recording from my very first injection in July, and I didn't create Jasmine's GLP-1 life until August. And my first month, I had lost over 12 pounds, and I was like, holy shit, maybe this is gonna work. So as I started sharing, I was finding people who were just like me, who had struggled and wanted to believe that this was something that might work for them, but were super skeptical. And I related to that. Like, I was skeptical. So when it came to telling them, like, yeah, like, I felt just like that. I felt just like you. I feel like I was helping people not feel so alone. And I was actually putting words to what people felt, and people related to that. And now, there's a lot of GLP-1 creators, and some of them, weren't like super obese before. Some of them were bigger than me. What makes me in this community different is probably just my no bullshit attitude. I'm not for everybody. I know that, like, a lot of people don't jive with the tough love mentality, but it's just who I am as a person. It's who I am as a mother. It's who I am as a wife. I just truly believe in shooting it straight. And I feel like there's a lot of people, though, that are like that. And there are a lot of people who appreciate that type of personality, because they know they're not going to come here and get some bullshit and me telling them all the nice things that they want to hear, and you're going to hear me tell you the things that you need to hear. And I feel like that helps people to trust me, because they know that I'm brutally honest, even when it's hard. I also feel like that's how this account got so big so quickly. There's been a lot of growth here, and I'm hoping the same things happen on this new platform. I have a lot of things that I think that I can offer this community, but I'm always afraid to post them on meta-based sites because I'm afraid of them getting shut down. I can post anything about a GLP-1 and I automatically get the notification that I've been restricted and I can't, do partnerships, or I can't do this. And the partnerships are what helps me do this full time. And when I look at what I'm doing here in this community, it's probably the most important thing I've ever done. And the reason for that is because I truly feel like GLP-1s are saving lives. And I think normalizing GLP-1s and, debunking the myths and the fear-mongering that seems to be out in the media right now, I feel like that is giving people the courage to try the medication. And it may not be right for you. It may not be right for everyone, but the people that it is right for, it's going to change your entire life. It has changed my entire life. I love clothes, and I just never was like into clothes before because I was fat. I mean, let's be honest. Like, it's not fun to go shopping when you're fat. It's just not. And, some people are okay with that. And some people are like body positivity. But to me, body positivity is bullshit. Can you appreciate where you are in your journey as you're losing weight and becoming healthier and in working toward a better self? Yes, you can be happy with your journey and where you are, but should you just quit striving for better? Should you quit trying to be healthy when you're 300 pounds? No, you shouldn't. And people are like, well, my blood work is perfect. Well, my blood work was perfect too until it wasn't. And it's eventually gonna catch up with people. And so I think that the body positivity movement is toxic in the way that it's laid out by a lot of people. Do I think it is so important to love yourself where you are and give yourself grace and all of those things while still trying to do better? Yeah, that's what I think. So when I say that this is like one of the most important things that I've ever done in my life, I truly believe we're saving lives by normalizing a medication for obesity, which is a disease. And there's people like me who just needed to level the playing field with a GLP-1. And then all the hard work I was putting in actually made a difference. And I feel like there are so many people like me out there. And those are the people that I'm looking for here. Those are the people that I want to hit subscribe. Those are the people that I want to join our community, help answer questions, and share your journey too. I love our online community just because you don't always just hear from me. Everyone can share their journey. And I feel like that's so much more impactful than you guys just hearing from me. Yeah, I may be the one that gets us all in one place, but collectively, all of us together are so much more powerful in this space. So with that being said, that's kind of my why. That's why I'm here. And I think I'm going to cut this little YouTube episode right here. And I'm not saying that I'm done telling my story. I feel like there's still so much more to tell from day one to where we are now in our journey over 2 years later. But yeah, I hope that you'll subscribe. I hope you'll share this with your friends who are also on this journey, or maybe your friends who are curious about this journey. Maybe sharing this video with them may entice them to just at least try, at least give it a shot, and it may change their life. And hell, you never know, it may save their life. So thanks for being here. I'm sure things are going to change as I figure this out. This is my first video. Like, I'm not happy with like how the background looks. I'm not happy with aesthetics and things. So I'm sure I'm going to be changing some things along the way. And I'm sure I'll look back at this video one day and be like, oh my God, my first video was so bad. But the whole thing is I put the video out, and this video, I may look back and cringe, but there may be someone who sees this video, connects, tries a GLP-1, loses 100 pounds, and saves their own life. And for me, I will be cringe all day for that. So see you soon.